You don't pick my candidates. Not even my candidates get to pick my candidates. So I don't care if Trump endorsed, I don't care who he endorses. That doesn't mean I'm going to vote for him. I pick my candidate. There seems to be a mindset that if Republicans get in office, there's going to be a really big difference from when Democrats are in office. But they're all the same. They're all pushing the same stuff. Bipartisan nonsense. Bipartisan gun control. Does that sound like something you're into? No? Not me either. Common sense gun laws? You into that? No? Bipartisan support for Ukraine? Wow, that's weird. There's never a bipartisan law to reduce taxes. There's never a bipartisan law to help the American people. It's always a bipartisan law to restrict the American people. So why would I want bipartisanship? That's not how it's supposed to be. There's supposed to be a fight every day. One side says, we want more laws. The other side says, we don't want this law. And if there's something they can come to an agreement on, fine. If not, that's how it's supposed to be. The checks and balances, they're supposed to be opposite. It's supposed to be hard to adjust the Constitution. It's not supposed to be easy. It's actually supposed to be as hard as possible to adjust the Constitution. That way, when it does happen, it's huge. It's a big deal. That means it's a consensus. Yes, we all know slavery was bad. We all know that segregation was bad. That's why there's supposed to be two opposing points of view. So the obvious consensus can be removed or voted for, either one. But it's not supposed to be, hey, we don't like traffic over here. We need a national law banning whatever. That's states things. That's what they're supposed to do. The more laws that our Congress creates and thinks that it's their job to do, the worse it is for all of us. The biggest difference between Democrats and Republicans, they don't really have to run. They have a lockstep party that will just support them regardless, no matter what. High percentage of black people are going to vote for them. So they don't even really have to run. You saw it in Arizona, you saw it in Pennsylvania this last midterms. People didn't even, you saw it in the general. Biden didn't even really campaign because they have votes that will just automatically come to them. Republicans need to earn their votes. Because I'm not just going to go out and vote for you because you're opposing a Democrat. So Republicans have a responsibility to show me what they're going to do with their vote. Why should I vote for you? What's the difference between you and this guy? I saw you at lunch with him. Why would I trust that you can oppose him in Congress? Why would I trust that you can oppose Obama if you can't even point out his flaws because you think he's a good guy? All right, well, sorry, McCain. Sorry, Romney. They don't understand their responsibility is greater to keep their votes, which is why they go up and down, up and down, up and down, and the left always is consistent. It's not that they have more feet on the ground and they're running their campaigns. They grassroots, all that stuff is garbage. It's about the Republican candidate themselves telling me why I should vote for you. What makes you different? It's very clear what was different with Trump. But now when it's time to come get my vote, you have to sell me on you. Otherwise, stay home. Because my assumption is not that you're going to do it right because you have an R next to your name. That's not what that R stands for. So you're supposed to tell me why I should vote for you. If you don't, you should not assume that I'm just anti-Democrat and I'm going to vote for you because you have that R. That's a fatal flaw in Republican politics, and it has been for years, decades. They think once they got a vote, they've always got the vote, just like Democrats. No. Every election, you need to tell me why I should vote for you. And if you don't, I'm not voting. It's pretty simple. I know it's a duty and all, but what I'm not going to do is support something just because I'm supposed to when I don't even know who the candidate is, or when I don't know what they stand for, or when I see inconsistencies in what they're saying. Then I'd rather err on the side of caution and say, yeah, I'm good. Maybe next time they'll give me a real candidate, or they'll allow me to pick them. We saw it happen with Bernie and Hillary. They tried to choose the Democrats' candidate. Well, you had a whole young group of Bernie bros that don't subscribe to that nonsense. And they already didn't like Hillary. So what they did was, okay, well, this Trump guy, he's a douche. I don't like him, but I'm going to stick my middle finger up at these people for telling me who I have to vote for. Who are my choices? Just these? This is really my choices? They seem to all be best friends. They seem to all be buddies. That's why Trump's attacks work so well. Oh, wow, he just attacked this guy's wife. They're not friends. Cool. Now, after the primaries, they need to galvanize and get with whoever wins, because that's what their party does. But we need to know that you're not best buddies going in, and that no matter who wins, you guys' agenda is going to get across. The biggest problem with Republicans is we give them everything, and they still find a way to fail. And then they act confused when we don't support them again. We put you in office, you have Congress, all of Congress, and you still can't get anything done because you're more focused on running on those things than actually doing those things. So I can't, they voted me in, but I can't support this wall right now because then I won't have anything to run on. So they don't support the wall. And this happens with everything. It's not just the wall. I'm just saying this is what they do. They're more interested in what they're going to run on next time than what they're supposed to be doing this time. And then when they lose, they want to blame Democrats.
Every single one of these bills has been blocked by Washington Democrats. The Senate, the President, continue to stand in the way of the people's priorities.
Right now, there's a push to push DeSantis ahead of Trump. Not going to happen. And if it does, you're going to lose millions and millions and millions and millions of people like me. You do not choose my candidate. I don't represent the Republican Party. The Republican Party is supposed to represent me. DeSantis, hell of a politician. Seems like he'd be a great president after my candidate is done. Now, it's fascinating to me that conservatives who are now fully intertwined with the Republican Party don't understand that. They think that I'm loyal to Trump. No, Trump is my candidate. He's loyal to me. He's the only politician, nationally, of course, who's actually shown loyalty to his base. He didn't run from us from midterm to general, or from primaries to general. He stayed true to his base. And what is his base? People who chose him, not the other way around. It's crazy to me that you guys don't understand this. I am not a Trump supporter. I've said this 1,000 times. Trump supports me. He understands who got him there. And he does what he's mandated to do by me. I'm the one with the power. And as soon as everybody realizes that, politics can change like that in an instant. But as long as everyone thinks there's Republicans and there's Democrats, and that's it. It's never going to change. You do not have to vote for the Republican candidate to get what you want. I know it feels that way, but the Tea Party proved that that's false. You do not have, I'm going to say it again. Repeat the last line. Repeat the line. You do not have to vote Republican to get what you want. You have to force Republicans to give you who you want. And until you realize that, you guys are going to be stuck in this two-party system, complaining. But here's the problem with the complaints. Yeah, but then we're going to get the Democrats. Doesn't matter. Because if we get the Republican candidate, he's not going to do anything different. They're the same thing. They just have a different history, a different lineage. They all go there to make new rules. Well, a true conservative would say, I don't want new rules. Leave me alone. So the more laws you tell me that you've proposed, I don't want to hear that. I only want to see the laws like Trump did when I'm in office and when the people are mandating me to do something. I don't care about all these other laws. I really don't. I want less laws. I want you to get rid of these laws. Repeal as much as you can. And that's lost in the whole conservative thing. We're here to conserve what's already there, traditions mainly. We're not here to promote new laws against this, new laws against that. We're here to conserve. So there, just by nature, we err on the side of tradition. Progressives, by nature, want everything to move forward. They're the ones who are supposed to be creating all these laws. I warned you guys about Lindsey Graham, and you guys, for whatever reason, don't understand the damage that he did in the midterms by promoting a federal law against abortion. You guys keep getting people like Mitch McConnell in there who won't even allow things on the floor. So if you have a really good law, like ones that would actually protect children, Republicans don't want anything to do with it. That's weird. Mitch McConnell wouldn't even call Kate's law to the floor. That's really weird. Why is that? But if you want to fund Ukraine,
making sure the Defense Department can deal with the major threats coming from Russia and China, providing assistance for the Ukrainians to defeat the Russians, that's the number one priority for the United States right now, according to most Republicans. That's sort of how we see the challenges confronting the country at the moment.
He's all in. First one there. He's there early. Do I have your vote? Do I have your vote? Do I have? This is not how the government should work. It's not. Their mandate comes from us, not the other way around. They're so used to being in Congress, being in the House, being in the Senate, just asking each other for their votes. They forget that they're there for us. They're not there for their stupid vote and their stupid bills. I don't care about that stuff. I don't want bureaucrats telling me what they want. I couldn't care less. So right now we're in a position where people are trying to promote another politician over my pick. Go ahead, do it if you want. The smart thing would be getting around my pick. And when I say my, I'm talking about millions and millions and millions of people. Get around him, get him his 4 years, and then I will follow DeSantis. I will not choose DeSantis over my pick. It's not going to happen. It's arrogant, and there's a weird assumption that comes along with primarying Trump when he runs. When it comes from somebody like DeSantis, because I think DeSantis is who he is today because of Trump. He just doesn't realize it. Trump's base supported DeSantis. We lifted him up to allow him to be great. He's great. But once you say, well, and you get greedy and get sanctimonious, and you say, I could take this vote from Trump. You are really pushing. You are really pushing it. Because that shows me you're way more arrogant than I could have even imagined. You take for granted me, that I'm just going to say, oh, okay, we don't need him anymore, and throw him to the side. It's not going to happen. And if it does, good luck running against whoever the left picks. I'll be watching and doing videos and asking people to like and subscribe, because I'm sure not voting.
So, policy-wise, Donald Trump is hard to argue. I know he is a lightning rod on the personality front and all those things, and we see a lot of division there, but I'm less emotional and more data-driven, and so I love his policies. I mean, the next contender is obviously Ron DeSantis, and he is really fun to watch, super easy to get behind as well. Love what he's done with Florida. So I think those are our two leaders on the right, for sure.
Yeah, there is. It's right on my hat right here. It's Donald J. Trump.
I'm a big DeSantis fan. I think he's the best governor I've ever seen. I think Trump has done a great job to set the stage for him.
But it shows sheer arrogance that Ron DeSantis thinks that he could just jump the line, which he can do whatever he wants. Run all you want. He's going to get a lot of conservatives, and he'll get all those never-Trumpers back. But I truly believe that when minorities shifted toward Donald Trump, and this is Hispanics and blacks, it increased every time. And it's still increasing, and I see it. I hear it. I'm very in tune with this stuff. On all of my social media timelines, I see more black people, more Hispanic people say, I like Trump. Bring back Trump. They're not saying, I want DeSantis. Bring DeSantis forward. And the reason they're not doing it is because they're not Republicans, they're not Democrats. They pick a candidate, and they are loyal to the candidate. And it's if the candidate is loyal to them. These people aren't converting because of DeSantis. They're converting because Donald Trump. And they realize, oh, that was all a narrative that was being told to me. But now they see and feel the difference of the policies that he put into place. They feel it in their homes, in their pockets, at church. And they're like, oh, he wasn't that bad after all. I was being fed a lie. I like that guy now. Or I prefer that guy being real with me and being blunt, whether it's rude or not. Doesn't matter. I know now that he was getting things done versus now I wasn't getting it. I'm not getting anything. It's costing $5 for bread. Meat's gone up 30%, 40%. Like, you can see now what he was saying wasn't just blabber. A lot of it was. But when he was talking about policy, he predicted everything. Gas is going to be $7. Oh, here he goes again. Exaggerating, because that's what he does. He never exaggerated when he talked about policy. He only exaggerated when he talked about himself. Why do you care? If he says I had a crowd of 10 million people and there was 1 million, you're ignoring that million by focusing on him exaggerating to 10 million. No, I just... basket of deplorables. Teabaggers. Trumpers. They're still doing it to this day. The Trump cult. No, it's not. It really isn't. It's people you disagree with. We're not in line like that. We really aren't.